Close your eyes. Make sure your spine is straight so that we can allow the easy, loving flow of breath. And today, I would like you to gaze at the spiritual eye, gently upward, gazing deeply and intently, keeping your gaze focused there in the center of your forehead. Do that now. Gaze deeper. Gaze more intently on this spot. Father, Mother, God, we now drop into our own divine awareness now. The breath is calm, relaxed, and slow. The inhalation, beginning at the base of your spine, is now moving up through the center of the astral body, moving around the brain and into the spiritual eye. Holding slightly there. Exhale, slowly, evenly, calmly back down the spine, all the way to the base of the spine. Over and over, the breath calmly moves. Inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale. That's right, dropping and drifting and dreaming into the divine. Feeling the relaxation starting at the top of your head, flowing down, down, gently flowing over the body, warm, comforting, peaceful, over the face, shoulders, the arms and torso, the back, thighs and legs, feet and out the toes. Feel yourself floating in the divine, not as a body, but as the spirit being a point of light, lighter than air in the galaxies, in space, this place of unlimited possibilities of joy and abundance, happiness, lightness, the planets and stars just floating as that perfect point of light, that soul essence. Know the truth of your being today. Accept your oneness with all things. You are made of the one substance, sharing one mind and one heart. Just one. Awareness and infinite knowledge, all-knowing. You are a perfect reflection of the one power, one presence, all-knowing, the one. This knowing releases into your beingness such confidence, such certainty, that you feel a wholeness that surpasses anything that you've ever felt before. You see yourself as this confidence, certainty, this wholeness, and you feel yourself as this confidence, certainty, and wholeness. And you hear the blessings in your mind, and you hear it from everyone you meet, that you are this confidence, certainty, and wholeness. Floating is the divine being that you are now, that point of light, lighter than air in the galaxies, in space, a place of unlimited possibilities of joy, abundance, happiness, lightness, the planets, stars, floating as a perfect point of light, soul essence, light. You now see yourself in the body as this confidence and certainty, this wholeness. Feeling the blessings of your truth, you now return to the body, integrated, one. As this confidence, certainty, and this wholeness integrated into every cell of your being. Now, enjoy your meditation. And so as we begin to come back, we just give great thanks for this beauteous time together. What a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.
Good morning, Amani, and thank you, Jeremy, for gonging us all in. So now if you will stand in your homes, out on the patio, wherever you are, stand with us and sing as we testify to love.
All the colors of the rainbow, all the voices in the wind, every dream that reaches out to find where love begins. Every word of every story, every star in every sky, every corner of creation lives to testify. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love, be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. From the mountains to the valleys, from the rivers to the streams, every hand that reaches out, every hand that reaches out to offer peace, every simple act of mercy, every step to kingdom come, every hope in every heart speaks what love has done. Yeah, yeah. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love, be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify to love. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. Be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. Be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify to love.
Thank you, Ascension. And thank you all for joining us today for our Amani Sunday experience. It is such a joy for us to have you here, joining us virtually. Hello to our group out on the patio, out in the sunshine. Thank you for joining us, guys. We're so happy to see you. And as things continue to move in the right direction here in California, especially, and in our own county, El Dorado County, we know that soon we will begin to have people back in the space and see your beautiful faces, and we won't just be in here talking to a camera on a tripod. So we look forward to that. We miss you all, but it is always first and foremost here at the Amani Center to protect our community and to do the thing that's best for the greater good. And so we continue to follow the guidelines and make sure we're being super careful, and we know that things are unfolding just how they're meant to. And so we like to start here at the Amani Center with our vision statement, and we're going to bring that up on the screen. And when I just ask you to share with me and speak it aloud from wherever you are, There's energy in speaking the words aloud, and so we do that together. We are an inclusive spiritual community dedicated to raising consciousness and transforming lives. And so we have a lot of ways that we accomplish that here at the Amani Center. We have classes, we have workshops, we are having online events. We're beginning to have some in-person events outside on our patio. There is content on our Discover Center that you can access at any time. Some of it's free. Some things you can make a donation or pay a certain amount. So there's lots of ways to be connected. Even as we physically distance our bodies, please don't distance your mind and your heart. Stay connected to this community. We are here to support you, and that's why we exist. That's what we're here for, supporting you, so you support others, so together we lift the vibration of the planet. And so one of the ways that we can support you is with treatment or affirmative prayer. And we have an Amani Circle of Light, which is made up of our practitioners and our ministers. And we are here to pray for and with you, to know the truth for you, and to do spiritual mind treatment, which can lift you, remind you who you are, bring things into your life that you would love to bring in, release things that aren't serving you. And so we do this one-on-one. It is a gift that we give to you. So if you would like treatment, you can reach out on Facebook. You can drop a comment right now. I know there's practitioners and ministers watching right now. If you would just let people know you're available, raise a hand, say I'm here, I can do treatment. You can also email us at admin@theamanicenter.org, or you can call our landline, 530-677-2300, and leave us a message, and we will get back to you. There's so many ways to reach out. If there's anything heavy on your heart, or something that you keep getting signs is meant for you, or something you need to release, don't miss this chance to have a powerful prayer partner treat with you and help you get exactly where you need to be. All right, and so now we're going to take a moment and just go through our announcements. So we have a lot going on right now, I'm excited to say. And we start with our schedule for the month of March. And our theme this month is honoring the elements. This month is air. And so normally we would have Reverend Sherry here. She speaks the first Sunday of every month, but she has some family issues going on that she is attending to. And so our wonderful Mitch Austin has stepped in with a pre-recorded message that he will be sharing today. And then Mitch will be here again for his regular Sunday next week, followed on the 21st by our amazing Reverend Pixie DeFore. And then we have another special guest artist and speaker on March 28th, and that is Bob Sima and Shannon Plumer. And they are just amazing. They just recently won another Posy Award. And Bob is a prolific writer and musician. Shannon is a shaman. They come together and bring an amazing service and music, and I'm really looking forward to sharing them with you. Okay, and just a reminder that the March newsletter just went out within the last week, so check your email. If you didn't see it, look in your junk mail and your spam mail, take a look for it. If you're not getting it, then go to our, or drop a note right here, and we can sign you up, or you can send a request to be added to the newsletter to admin@theamanicenter.org. Lots of information and links in there, so don't miss out on that. Okay, and as I alluded to, we have folks out on the patio. We do this every Sunday right now that the weather is permitting, and assuming that we have some folks to support us. So Kathy is making that call on Friday nights. If you want to be on the email chain to find out if the patio is going to be open, you can send us an email at admin@theamanicenter.com. I think it's .org. Is that right, Kelly? It's .org. I'm sorry, I need to correct that slide. Otherwise, you can show up at 10:10 on Sunday mornings here when the weather's nice and watch the live stream in community. We've got a better speaker this week. I think the sound's doing better. And if you're out on the patio and you're also live on your phone live streaming, let us know how the sound is out there. So join us on Sundays on the patio. And now this Sunday, we have a vision board workshop with our wonderful practitioner, Rebecca Dugan. And so this will be a virtual and in-person event. We're going to allow about 10 people in the space, each at their own table. Or if you want to join from home, you can join with the Zoom. The link should be dropping right now. And then also, in response to some questions at our annual meeting, the links will all be dropped again as a post on Facebook immediately following this live stream. So if you didn't catch them during the live stream, you should be able to find them easily. And so you can sign up for this. You can show up in person, like I said, the first 10 or so, or do it from home. Rebecca does an awesome job at this. She does visioning processes. She leads you through. It's a wonderful experience. This year you'll get your own magazines, and we won't really be sharing things like we might normally, so you can start collecting pictures and images. You can download images from the internet, whatever you see. Whenever you see something that kind of lights you up and you think, man, I'd love to have that in my life, get a picture of that, and we'll put it on your vision board next Saturday at noon. Okay, and another exciting event coming up in March is our spring equinox ritual. And Kristen Scott has been leading these rituals, putting them together, and then along with Reverend Pixie DeFore, just bringing such a gorgeous experience to us out on the patio, physically distanced, and via Zoom as well. If you don't feel comfortable coming in, or if you're not in this local area and you want to participate, you can join via Zoom. This is a free event, open to everyone. And we're doing it at noon on March 20th. That's the spring equinox. And Kristen wanted to try it at noon this year. There is power in that time. So you can sign up to join that. What we're doing with that is we're following it up with a little patio work party. So anyone who would like to come and do a little work on the patio, we're going to get some new planting boxes. We'll be we have some patio beautification going on, and so anyone who would like to just help with making that happen can stay or show up right after the spring equinox, maybe about 1 o'clock. And then we're going to finish the whole thing off with just some time around the fire, time in community. Bring a bottle of wine to share, or whatever your favorite beverage is, and we'll have some snacks and hors d'oeuvres, and we'll just sit by the fire and be in community and enjoy each other's company. Okay, and then we rescheduled this forgiveness workshop. It was going to be in February, but we had some conflicts come up last minute, so it is now March 23rd. So you can still sign up for this. Our own practitioner Angie Gann and board president will be presenting this beautiful workshop. It'll be deep, and she asks you to bring a notebook, something to write on, and you can sign up for that right now. The link should be dropped March 23rd, 6:30 to 8 p.m. via Zoom. And another great workshop we're doing here at the center and via Zoom is an earthing workshop with our wonderful practitioner, Jamie Keenan. So that is on March 27th from 12 to about 2 o'clock. And you should see a link dropping for that. And please sign up and join us for this great experience, learn about earthing and how it can connect you and ground you. And then we have some classes that just started this last week. This is your last chance to sign up for these. So this is a year 3, The Sacred Wheel, presented by Reverend Cheryl Rem. Amazing class, and holy cow, powerful women in this class. So if you would like to jump into this, sign up today. It is an accredited year 3 class, but anyone can join it. And a link should be dropped for that right now. I encourage you to sign up. We're meeting on Monday nights from 6 to 9. And then we have a new year 1 class that started as well, The Power of Prayer, with the wonderful Reverend Pixie DeFore. This started last week as well, but you can still jump in. That's every Thursday night from 6:30 to 9:30, also an accredited class. This one is open to all. If you have not done your year 1, great time to jump in, any level. And if you've already done it, come back and do it again. You will find more gifts and connection and aha moments, I guarantee. So that's another one. Please sign up this week. This is pretty much the last chance since it did begin already. And then we are bringing back this workshop that Bob Sima did in, I think it was January, Practical Breath Work. And he did this as a live Zoom. and it was amazing. And so we pre-recorded that, and he's allowing us to sell it as a sort of like a webinar that you can do. You can purchase it and then do it at your leisure anytime. There's some amazing techniques for ensuring that you are bringing the breath of life in a way that can transform you. So he goes through a lot of different ones. You can find one that works for you. You can try all of them. That is available at any time in our Discover Center, and someone should be dropping a link for that right now, but if not, if you go to the Discover Center, you'll see that it is there. And I'll drop that link later today as well as a post on Facebook. Okay, a reminder to the Circle of Light, ministers and practitioners, we are meeting today at 1:30. I just resent that email yesterday, so check for the link with the Zoom link. And we'll see you at 1:30. And is that the last one? Okay, that is the last announcement. So let's take a moment to bless our service. So wherever you are, if you'll just take things out of your lap, set them aside so that you feel free and open. Try either placing your hands upward in your lap or perhaps one down and one up so that you are grounded and feeling that openness to what's trying to come in. And if you feel comfortable, allow your eyes to close and receive a breath in. Deep cleansing all the way down into your belly, expanding your lungs, and release it. We become fully present in this moment where we are just where we're meant to be with the purpose of hearing, feeling, and expressing what we're meant to hear, feel, and express. I thank you for tuning in, for listening to that voice that told you you needed to be here, and I know you will be rewarded for listening to that voice, listening to your intuition. There is only one power, one presence, one energy, and it flows in, through, and as each and every one of us, and all that is happening on the planet, all that looks like chaos is actually divinely ordained, divinely unfolding. And so we stay in our place of openness and faith to know that all is well. And in spite of being uncomfortable or messy, or perhaps not what we would choose with our own minds, we can know that it is here to serve us. There's a purpose, there's a gift. And so when we stop fighting and we just open up and allow, we can receive that gift. It's here right now for you. You just have to allow it, receive it. And this is true for the whole planet. And I know it is true for this service right now, that it is unfolding just as it's meant to. And that the messages, the vibrations, the energies, everything that each and every one of us needs right now is coming to us through this service directly from Spirit. And so I just breathe into that, grateful to know that it is unfolding as it's meant to, and grateful to each and every one of you who show up to be part of this service. And so grateful to our live stream team, to our speaker, to our house band Ascension, to our sound team and our practitioners, and to those who've showed up on the patio and the volunteers on the patio, and everyone who is doing their part to make this all possible and to allow it to unfold. I know that we are all blessed, especially in this moment and in every moment of our lives. And I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is already done. And together we say, and so it is. So now it's time for our affirmation, and our practitioner, Pat Sosa, is coming up to do that.
Good morning. As you prepare to say the affirmation today, just take a breath and relax and bring this into your heart as you say it 3 times. We will read it together 3 times. This affirmation is brought to us today by ministerial intern Mitch Austin. The Spirit I am is greater than any label the Word has put on me. I accept no label less than the magnificence I am. The Spirit I am is greater than any label the world has put on me. I accept no label less than the magnificence I am. The Spirit I am is greater than any label the world has put on me. I accept no label less than the magnificence I am. And together we say, and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've ever lost and won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment, here to a new beginning, here. And I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of life, to the sweetest kind of love. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of life, to the sweetest kind of love. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. My soul.
What a perfect way to dive in to our meditation today. Wherever you are, make yourself comfortable. Take a big breath in. And as you release that breath, feel your body relax from head to toe. Put yourself in that space. Stop the chatter. Let it go. Whatever comes in, just let it go. Don't argue with it. Just let it go. Take another breath. Bring to mind anything or see anything that is beautiful to you, anything that is calming to you, anything that expresses your love, anything that appeals to you and is heartfelt. Bring that into your space now. It might be your latest grandchild. It might be your latest child. It might be a new puppy. It might just be gratefulness for this glorious day. Bring that peace, that beauty, that love into your heart now. As you breathe and relax and enjoy your meditation. As you return to your space, we will do our healing treatment. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, all the saints and sages of all ages and denominations, we unite with you now. We are one. We know that the healing on this planet is taking place this moment, this very moment, as we are here together. We know that the healing for ourselves is abundant and is ever there. If you bring into your mind anyone that you feel needs healing at this moment, don't we all? Bring those people, bring that situation, bring whatever it is into your mind now to be healed. There is nothing that cannot heal. We know that we are whole. We know that we are alive and willing participants in this world that we live in. We know that everything is here for us so that we can be healthy, we can be abundant, we can be happy. We can find love, we can be love. We can spread our love as a healing element on this planet every single moment of every day. There is nothing that cannot be healed. We know that the power and the presence that is available to us on this planet is always available. We also know that we can heal ourselves, and in our love for each other and in our caring for everyone and every living thing on this planet, we can help to heal anything that needs to be healed. We call anything that needs to be healed into us now, into this space of healing. We are so grateful to know the power of the healing on this universe. We are so grateful to know that we are a part of that power, that we are a part of that live stream that heals, that participates, and that spreads love and brotherhood and sisterhood wherever we go. We are grateful to know this. We take a big breath now, and together we say, and so it is.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us. Ooh, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions, and wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I know I'm not the only one. Oh, I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will
Sonia Peterson, and our wonderful house band Ascension. Love it when you guys do that song. So beautiful. Thank you. Okay, and so now it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today. And as I said, we're so grateful to Mitch for just being ready to jump right in at last minute. And that's our Amani Ministerial Council. They are here to support us, and they are so connected that they really are able to come up with a wonderful talk at a moment's notice. And so we're so grateful for our wonderful Mitch Austin, who recently joined our Ministerial Council. And so with no further ado, please welcome Mitch Austin.
Amani Center. So blessed to be with you here this morning virtually. I am clearly not Reverend Sherry. You might have been expecting her today. She had some unexpected life events. We know life happens. And so you have me for today's message. And we know it's all by divine appointment. So the title of today's talk is Choice, Not Chance. And we're going to talk a little bit, we're going to take a deep dive into some of the choices that we make, consciously or unconsciously, and how they show up in our lives. Because we know that life is an inside-out job. And who we're choosing to be, or whatever default programming is choosing for us, has a profound experience in what we see showing up in our lives and how we experience what shows up in our lives, and ultimately the decisions we make. So I came up with this topic thinking about who we choose to be, whether we choose or our default programming, and how we identify ourselves, when I was reading a book by Margaret Wheatley. And the title of the book is, Who Do You Choose to Be? In her chapter on naming yourself, I thought that's an interesting chapter. And as I read it, she referred to a message she had listened to by Reverend Wayne Muller, where he challenged the people in his audience to name themselves. And to name themselves not based on their history, which many of us tend to do. If we've survived cancer, we might call ourselves a cancer survivor. If we've overcome abuse, we might label ourselves an abuse survivor of some sort. Or maybe if we are recovering from an addiction, we might identify ourselves as a recovering addict of some sort. So no doubt that these things are hard won, but they're also in the past, and they don't define us. And what he was really pushing for is for us to reach forward, to really look at the vastness of our being and all the options that are available for us to be something that contributes, based on our values, something significant to the world. And so Margaret was really moved by this message, and she decided to come up with a new name for herself. Want to know what it is? She came up with Warrior for the Human Spirit. For the human spirit. How beautiful is that? What if somebody asked you your name and you said, I'm Warrior for the Human Spirit? Be a great conversation at a cocktail party, I think, right? And she even came up with a definition for her name. And the definition is a decent human being who aspires to be of service in an indecent, inhumane time. And much of Margaret's work, and I highly encourage you to check out her YouTubes and her book, revolves around, what is the time in the world right now? Where are we on the clock of humanity? And how are you choosing to show up during this time? And I think her work has a lot of important impact in the world. But for today's discussion, I'm really going to hone in on, are you choosing who you're going to be ahead of time, or are you letting your default programming take over? And chances are, if you're not choosing, someone or something else is, right? So are you choosing to be who you are in the world from your values, your dreams, your intentions at any given point? Or are you reacting or showing up from a space of your wounds, your fears, or your judgments? Because we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. So if we're still living by the woundedness of our history or the unforgiveness or the fear or judgments, chances are we're attracting more to, well, be fearful of or to judge or to feel hurt by. So this is a monumental shift in our thinking. You know, Buddha puts it this way. He says, what we think, we create. What we feel, we attract. What we imagine, we become. What we imagine, we become. And so I want to take a deep dive into this beingness of ourselves and what we're choosing. Because really, honestly, I think we fall into one of three buckets at any given point in our life of what we're being. We're either being a victor, a victim, or I have a third V, a vanisher. And if you've ever met a vanisher, you'll know them right away. They completely deny that there's any situation going on. There's almost like a disconnect with reality. And I'm not going to focus too much on the vanisher. I think there's a whole another level of support that vanishers need in the world. I'm going to focus more on the bulk of us, which is either our tendency to fall into a victor or victim mode. And so let me give you some examples, some words that we use to characterize how we're showing up in any given situation. I'm going to talk about three examples, and they are whether you're choosing to be a forgiver or an unforgiver, a forgiver or an unforgiver. So a forgiver is really coming from that place of victor, right? Standing in their strength and healing a situation first within themselves and creating more of that in the world. Unforgivers are stuck. They're stuck in the pain of the past, and that pain keeps resurfacing because they're still holding on to it, right? So we got the victor and we've got the victim. Or another one is, are you choosing in any moment to be a peacemaker or a peace stealer? A peacemaker or a peace stealer. And we know the peacemakers, right? They come to try and heal whatever's going on in the moment. And sometimes peacemakers, they give away too much of themselves to try and make the situation peaceful. So we need to be mindful if we have a tendency to be a peacemaker that we're not slipping into a situation of not being in integrity with ourselves, right? Because it's not us to be the source of fixing things for peace. It's up to us to be the source of peace that emanates out as an energy that causes other things and situations to heal and repair themselves. So there's a difference there. But you know, peace stealers are all around us, unfortunately. They're the ones that are going to rob your dreams. They're going to tell you you're crazy for having that vision, dream, or intention. You know, peace stealers add to the drama. Did you hear? Did you know? Oh my God. You know, the awfulizing. There's no shortage of peace stealers, unfortunately, and many of them come through our news channel. I'm also going to talk about whether you're a creator or a destroyer, right? And again, creators, right? They're people that are willing to go out on the limb, to try something new, to bring something into the world that needs to come in, whether it's you're artistic and you're taking pictures or creating things, or whether you're bringing forward new programs or ideas or ways of being in the world, creators. The opposite of that is destroyers, people who are trying to dismantle things, disrupt things. And we do need some balance of both, but we can tip to the dark side sometimes with the level of tearing down and destroying. And we see this a lot in our politics, right? When there's, smear campaigns, trying to destroy, right, their opponent. When really the healthy balance is to be in a dance of What do we stand for? How are we different? And what choices do we have before us, right? That would be our healthy political system. So those three models of who we're choosing to be in the world is what I want to discuss. And I want to encourage you as we go through these three examples to choose. Just choose right now. And so the first one we're going to go forward with is the forgiver and the unforgiver. So I'm going to invite you to choose and to think about right now, which one are you going to be before the situation shows up? So the example of the forgiver that I want to talk about, one of my sheroes who unfortunately left the planet in 2019, and you may have heard of her, and if you haven't, I highly encourage you to learn more about Eva Moses Kor. She was a Holocaust survivor, and she was in a documentary called Forgiving Dr. Mengele. Now, if you know anything about Dr. Mengele, he was a Nazi doctor who did terrible experiments on children, specifically twins. And Eva was part of a twin set, and she was in his program, if you could call it that, and witnessed terrible, terrible atrocities. And in the documentary, she talks about a moment where the doctor had injected something in her, and she had a terrible reaction. She kept passing out. She was sick for days. She wasn't able to eat. And at one point, she, in great detail, talks about her will to crawl across the floor, that it took hours to get to the water because she knew she had to stay alive and that she needed some water or it wasn't going to happen. And she would pass out and then she'd crawl some more and she'd pass out. She finally gets to the water and she drinks it. But here's the reason why she was so motivated to get to the water. It wasn't because she necessarily wanted to live. I'm sure she did. But she knew if she died, the practice in the camp was if one twin dies, they would exterminate the other twin. So she was fighting not just for her life, but her sister's life. I mean, this was the depth of terror and struggle that she was experiencing during this time. And I only illustrate this for you because eventually her and her twin did get liberated. They came to America. Her sister, unfortunately, didn't live as long as Eva. She had some kidney problems as a result of some of these experiments. But here's what I want to tell you about Eva. And I think more than surviving the Holocaust and more than getting, to America and becoming a successful realtor and even starting a Holocaust museum in Terre Haute, Indiana, right, in the 80s. I mean, let's face it, in the 80s, we weren't very deep. For her to accomplish all those things, you would say, wow, she's an amazing person. But I think her greatest accomplishment, one of her greatest accomplishments, and I looked her up on Wikipedia, and you know what part of her, how people say that this person was an author or a philanthropist or a humanitarian, you know what they put in her description, how they named her? They called her a forgiveness advocate. She actually went back to the death camps, and in her trip going back and paying homage, she ran into a doctor that used to be a Nazi doctor. And I don't think this was, by chance type of occurrence. I think it was divine design. She was actually willing to talk to him and to discuss what happened. And he was deeply remorseful for the things that had happened and his contributions to it. And they had a moment of reconciliation. And she felt weights begin to fall off herself. And she decided she needed to forgive Dr. Mengele. And when she did, she felt a lightness in her spirit she had not known since before the camps. And so she went and she found other survivors that were in the camps with her and encouraged them to forgive Dr. Mengele, many of which thought she was crazy when she suggested this. And so those people remained unforgivers, that poison of the past continuing in present time. And she couldn't convince some of them to open their hearts and forgive, and that forgiveness wasn't about the perpetrator, that it was about your own real liberation, because some people were physically not in the camps, but mentally they still were. So in many ways, the prison for some continued in their lives. And so I think that was her greatest accomplishment. So my question to you is, when somebody comes to you with something that they did, or you find out that someone betrayed you or disappointed you or harmed you in some way, I want you to decide right now, who are you going to be? And maybe it's something in your past that you're still holding on to, that you're still in the stance of being an unforgiver. I encourage you to choose right now, because you can always choose again. And if you're not ready, that's okay too. And if you don't know how, that's okay too. But here's what I want you to know. You can choose. You don't have to accept what the default programming or how yourself has reacted to a situation. Blessed be. Our next one is peacemaker or peace disturber. Who are you going to be? You know, the peacemakers in the world hold that candle, that hope for us to find Rumi's field, that place beyond right and wrong where we can stand and feel our sense of connection. So important. Are you choosing to be a peacemaker or a peace disturber? Adding to the FUD, right? The fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's a great little acronym I've heard. I like using it. And we do this with our naysaying and our drama contributions and gossip and boo-hooing of situations in a way that is not adding to unity and peace. Now, I'm not saying we all have to be optimistic all the time. There's a time for realism, but you can arrive at realism with an intention of creating unity, connection, consensus, and peace, or you can arrive with a sense of a self-righteousness, being better than, control dramas, right? Those are all peace disruptor agendas. You know who did this well? Peacemaking, and right now we're in the season of nonviolence, is Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. He understood that the only path to higher ground was through peaceful responses to very ugly events in our lives. And he had trained and convinced thousands of people to do the same, no matter what came against them. Dogs, fire hoses. Now, if you ever know anything about a fire hose being fire hose, that is not a good time. That's a very violent act. But people remained in their peace stance. They remained committed to their values. And I believe because they already chose who they're going to be before these situations came up. You know, another really amazing peacemaker and one of my personal heroes is a man who helped develop nonviolent communication, Marshall Rosenberg. You know, he grew up in a turbulent time in Detroit, and he had a keen interest in providing new forms or peaceful alternatives for the violence he was encountering. So he made a choice early on in his life. Was he going to be a peace disruptor and engage in the violence and the separation thinking, or was he going to be a peacemaker moving towards oneness and solutions to heal these problems? And what he came up with after, going into clinical psychology in Wisconsin and studying under Carl Rogers, putting all this life work together to come up with nonviolent communication. And there are actually 4 parts to it I want to offer you, because I think it's so powerful that when you have a situation where you're feeling out of harmony with someone, you're feeling this disruption of peace, and you want to resolve it, there's 4 parts to his communication strategy that I think are very powerful. The first part is to state what you observe or see, to say how that makes you feel, to describe what your values are relative to this, and asking, making a request of the other person. You know, I had coached a friend through this. He was having difficulty with a coworker. And his coworker would always, when the coworker had an issue with him, he would tell everyone but him, right? So there was this, everyone knew that Bob, we'll say his name was Bob, had a problem with my friend. But he didn't know there was an issue, and he would only know because other people would come to him. And, that upset his apple carts. He felt like, oh, well, Bob doesn't really trust me, or does he not like me, or is there a problem? So I encouraged my friend to go to Bob with this problem. And so he sat down with Bob and said, what I observe is that, you're talking to other people about some concerns you have about me. And that makes me feel like I'm left out of the loop. Like there's something about me you can't come talk to me about. And I want you to know I value our relationship. I value having good communication with everyone. And if I'm doing something that is upsetting to my coworkers, I'd like to talk about it and see if there's something I can do about it. Would you be willing, if there's an issue, if I do something that doesn't sit well with you, would you be willing to come talk to me about it? So that's a really good example, right, of using this 4-question strategy to bring more peace, more balance, more harmony, to be a peacemaker. And very well, my friend for some time was more of a peace disruptor, talking back to the people that would deliver the message from Bob, going, well, why isn't he talking to me? And, he's going around talking to everybody else. He should just be talking to me. I don't understand why he's telling you and he's not telling, right? That's the peace disruptor response. That's a reactive response. That's usually coming from our pain or our fear, right? Or how does this look that Bob isn't talking to me, right? This kind of image. So I'm going to invite you right now to choose who you're going to be. Are you going to be a peacemaker? So when the opportunity comes up, you can engage in maybe nonviolent communication, or put your resources and energy in proactive actions and strategies that are going to help the situation and not create more of it. Choose right now so that you're ready, because life likes to give pop quizzes. And my last example is the one of being a creator or a destroyer. A creator or a destroyer. We know creators when we meet them. They're the people with 50 million ideas. I'm one of them. Maybe too many ideas sometimes. But creators are all about adding value to the world in some way that helps all of us. That's really the creator mindset. The destroyer mindset tends to come from one of fear, one of resisting change, one of being suspicious of anyone who wants to make things better. I've run into this a lot, particularly in the work environment. I'm the one with the great new idea, right? And there's always a couple people in the group, that guy, always wanting to change things. It's good enough, right? And I've experienced that quite a bit in my life. And you know who experienced that in spades? One of my high luminaries and sheroes that walked the planet, Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa. I watched a documentary on her life, and part of her life took her to Calcutta to be a teacher. And some of you may know this. And these were cloistered nuns. You stayed inside the building, you stayed inside the group, right? You didn't really venture out into the community. You really weren't active with the people. That was frowned upon. You were to be in dutiful service, prayer, contemplation, serving the group of nuns, and then being, for the students that came in, being the teacher, doing what you're told. Like, that was your frame that you were to live in as a nun for this particular order. But Mother Teresa would look out her window and she would see such suffering and pain. People hungry in the streets, whole families wasting away. Some just dying in the streets, and people walking over their bodies as if they were a log and not a person. This hurt her heart on such a deep level that she couldn't stay in that frame anymore. And she started to go out into the streets, and she started to bring food, and she started to console people. And the more she did it, the more she knew that's what she needed to do. And then the nuns didn't like that. Like, what is she doing? She's doing something, right? She's creating something that isn't within our frame. And they said, look, you can't be a nun here if you're going to keep doing that. But see, the decision, although hard, it was already made because she had chosen to be a creator, one of compassion and love and support and resources. So she went and lived out on the streets. No better really than many of the people who were suffering, but she had a faith, she had a vision and conviction as a creator to magnetize herself to the resources, love, and support that was so desperately needed in Calcutta at the time. And, she became an ambassador. She became the face of compassion, of love, of support, of relief, of care. And hundreds of nuns just started showing up. See, she didn't get what she wanted. She got what she was. The word of who she was began to spread, and everything started showing up. I oftentimes believe that Mother Teresa was one of the richest people on the planet, not in terms of money, because money will only get you so far. She had something more powerful than that. She had influence and a connection with spirit that was connected to all things. A full flight, if a flight's full, many times your money can't get you on a full flight, but Mother Teresa can make one call, not a penny in her pocket, and people would be kicked off flights just so she could go somewhere, right? She had influence because of who she was and who she chose to be. That's the power of these decisions and how they can impact our lives and our vision and our dreams. I love the there was an interview with her once, and Mother Teresa wasn't very big. She was little, she was older in life. She was running a very big organization and had a busy schedule and a lot of demands on her. And one of the reporters asked her, Mother Teresa, how do you deal with all of these suffering people and all the money that needs to come and all the people and the help? And she goes, how do you do all that? And she goes, well, I know God never gives us more than we can handle. I just wish he wouldn't trust me so much. That's one of my favorite quotes from her. Maybe some days you wish Spirit wouldn't trust you so much with some things that you're experiencing in your life. But know that when you decide, when you choose to be a creator, that you are fully supported with all the resources that you need. So I invite you now. Who are you going to be? When your child comes and tells you something that breaks your heart, are you going to be a forgiver? Who are you going to be when someone, maybe in your work environment or family, acts out of judgment or fear? Are you going to be a peacemaker? Who are you going to be when a problem arises in your community, in your family, in your relationship? Are you going to be a creator, providing that higher ground, working towards bringing something new, a solution? Are you going to bring more beauty into the world as a creator? Are you going to give your gifts fully? Because your gifts, well, they're not for you. I hate to tell you, they're for all of us to participate in, to benefit from, because there really, at the end of the day, is only one of us. So I would like to leave you with a beautiful bit of wisdom from Mother Teresa. I'll have to tell you, this piece of wisdom saved me in a time when I was really low, when I was at a point of losing my belief in the goodness of people. I was working a job where people were so judgmental, full of drama stories and tearing each other down. And, well, for whatever reason, I was a big target. Maybe because I had all those ideas. And every day I would come home, and with my partner I would play a game and say, You know, the question of the day was always when I got home, did you have to quit your job today? Not really, but mentally. So if it was a terrible day, I'm like, oh, I quit that job. If it was a tolerable day, I'm like, no, I didn't have to quit today. You know, it was just one of those kind of running jokes that was funny but not so funny. And then one day, I was mindlessly channel surfing. You ever done that? You're just clicking the TV and you really don't know what you're looking for. And I happened to stop on a PBS channel. Wayne Dyer was standing there. I didn't know who he was at the time. And he started talking about how sometimes people can be unreasonable, how they can gossip or tear you down, and like he totally had my attention. And he invited me, or the viewers, but I felt like he was talking to me, to take in this wisdom from Mother Teresa. And I would like to invite you to take it in as well. For any situation, anything that may be going on in your life with other people, causing maybe the disruption or the unforgiveness or the drama or the hurt or the disconnect. The piece is called Anyways. Mother Teresa says, people are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people will accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. What you spend years building, someone can destroy overnight. Build anyway. Be honest, even if people are dishonest. If you find happiness, people may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have. It may never be enough. Give your best anyway, for you see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Blessed be. Namaste.
As always, Mitch always gives us such great tips that we can take right into our lives to make it better. So it's always great to have him here. Okay, and so now it is our joyful time of giving, and this is when we take a moment to support the Amani Center in whatever way we can. As we share each week, you know, we continue to pay our lease payment, our electric bills, other things that we still have as expenses during this great pause, and we don't have a room full of people to pass a basket, but we've come up with a lot of digital ways for you to support the center, and we're always so grateful for whatever it is that you can give. However, there's no gift that's too small, and additionally, we're always grateful for all of the help that we get from volunteers and other ways that you support the center. But right now, we're just going to bring a few ways up on the screen that you can text to donate to the Amani Center. You text the word Amani to 44321. There's a donate button always on the newsletter and the email blast. There is a donate button at our website. You can use your bank app and set it up for a one-time e-check or recurring. And then you can also mail us a check. And our address is 2558 Greenwood Lane in Cameron Park, Suite number D, 95682. That's in California. We always love to get your cards and letters. And whatever you're able to do, however you are able to support the center, we are just so grateful for you. And just know that we literally can't do it without you. And there should be a link being dropped right now as well that you can follow to donate. And so now we'll just take a moment and do a treatment for our abundance here at the center and for in your life as well. So allowing your eyes to close, we just know
that there is only one source that exists. It is not our job or our government or any outside source, but it is the one source, the divine. We call it God or nature or spirit, but this is the source of all good in the world. And it is here for each and every one of us. Each and every one of us is connected to this divine source. And source does not know limitation. It has no understanding of this idea of lack or there not being enough. That's our misperception. And so we take a moment now to align with source and know that our options, our resources are limitless and abundant, and that God or the universe or spirit is here to bring us everything we could ever want or need. That is the joy and abundant nature of spirit. And so we just need to know that and be open to it, to be receptive to our good. And so I know that right now, good is flowing to the Amani Center. Abundant resources, people who will benefit from being part of this community, ideas, connections, all the good that we can handle. And we can handle a lot of good. And I know that is flowing towards each and every one of you right now as well. Just be receptive, be open, allow this good to come, and be grateful. We are so grateful right now for this center, for all the resources that flow to it, and for each and every person who shows up here every Sunday morning and every day, bringing your presence, your gifts, your resources, your love, your talents, your light to the Amani Center, so that we are all lifted by it, and so that we lift everyone we come into contact with, spreading this goodness, this abundance of joy and love, and this very high vibration. And in this way, we change the world. And so I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is already done. It is already made manifest. It is already unfolding. And together we say, and so it is. And so now we are blessed with another wonderful song from our house band, Ascension.
Open up my eyes to daylight in my new city, where maybe I will wander too far away from where I started. Open up my eyes and break her. No gentle waters, no anchor. I'm barely brave enough to keep breathing. I believe in love. There is enough to ask for more, to fill you up. Nobody's keeping score. Do you know what you fight for? What you fight for? I want more. In the dead of the dark, the hard times on broken branches and lifelines. Remember, it's all a game, a grand design that you can't tame. Open up your eyes and cry them. Mourn your child, your innocence. for my story to tell. There is enough. There is enough. Do you know what you fight for? What you fight for? I want more love. There is enough. So ask for more to fill you up. Nobody's keeping score. Do you know what you fight for? What you fight for? I want more love. I want more love. I want more love. Oh, there is enough. So ask for more to fill you up. Nobody's keeping score. Do you know what you fight for? What you fight for? I want more love. More love. More love. I want more love.
Awesome. Thank you, Ascension. Thanks to all the snappers. I've never been able to snap. No sound comes. I think I used too much hand lotion, but. Okay, and so now it is the time when we would invite you to stand wherever you are so that we can sing our closing song together. The presence is here. So please stand and join us.
The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. And I will meet you in grace.
Thank you for joining us, Amani. We are so grateful to have you all here. I know that you meet us in grace and we meet you in grace, and that as we walk through these sometimes trying times, that we choose what we want to bring to the world and don't just let it unfold without any thought. And so I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I wish you a wonderful week. Spread your joy and your high vibration to the world. Namaste.